Good afternoon and welcome to the Nottingham Wildcats arena for this quarter-final tie in the Llynch trophy, with the Derby Trailblazers taking on Worthing Thunder. Derby having won the northern group of the trophy and Worthing runners-up in the southeastern group, which was based at the Solent hub. Their one defeat coming against Solent, who of course haven't lost a game in well over a calendar year at this level. I'm joined alongside of me on commentary this afternoon by former Derby performance analyst and former head coach of the Anglia Women's Programme, Michael Hanson-Morris. Afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon, Nigel. Looking forward to this one. Obviously, these two sides have met in the league already this season in Derby. Derby 113, Worthing 99. So it'll be interesting if we get another high-scoring contest. Obviously, both teams off Christmas, so we'll probably see some rust early, but this should be a great quarter-final.
Should indeed. Looking forward to seeing what happens. Last time around there was a great matchup between Cameron Hildreth and Blake Bowman as the players just take the knee in respect of BLM. Cam and Blake, of course, probably the two best under-19 players in this country at the moment, and both have already got commitments to go off to the States. And we're underway. Worthing with the tip, Jack Sunderland with the ball. Cameron Hildreth taking it inside, the shot no good, rebounded by Ives. Hildreth to Taylor. Taylor at the top. Gets the ball back into Hildreth, who will kick it outside to Sunderland on the three. No good. Rebounded by Derby. Charlie Brown for Derby will set the play. He's back from injury, which is good to see for the Trailblazers. A number of players had to step up to fill his void when he injured his ankle a few weeks back. Derby trying to get the ball inside to Jacob Conway, out of bounds on the end line. Opening thoughts, Michael?
Interesting. Obviously, Worthing leading scorer Cameron Hildreth going early with that match that we talked about between Hildreth and Bowman, but here Derby got to execute 6 on the shot clock, see if they can get something good.
So inbound on the end line from Charlie Brown to Malcolm Smith. Malcolm will shoot. Bit short from Malcolm, tried to get his own rebound, but Harold Crawford brings it down instead, and it's a Worthing possession with Zaire Taylor to Hildreth. Hildreth looking for options, spins. Good defence from Blake Bowman.
Yeah, good block by Blake. Third time we've seen Worthing try and post up Hildreth early in the game, so clearly something the coaching staff has seen on the matchup, but so far Bowman holding his own down there. But Worthing active on defence, talking to Ishmael Fontaine yesterday before the game, saying they need to be more active on the defensive end, and we've seen that early.
He's Derby back on offense. Jacob Conway, one of the two import players for the Trailblazers, shooting from deep. Passes inside, in fact, to Malcolm Smith, who is stripped by Cameron Hildreth. Hildreth on a fast drive at court, looking to go all the way. His shot is short. Bowman again on the rebound, and Derby back on offense. Bowman looking to go all the way and does so. Great play, Blake Bowman.
Yeah, first points 90 seconds in here in Derby for Derby. Again, see if Worthing gets the ball. It's only Hildreth that shot the ball so far.
Speedy response from Worthing. That's Howard Crawford with the 2 in reply. Charlie Brown will set the next play for Derby here in the Nottingham Wildcats arena, temporary home of the Trailblazers. Charlie to Malcolm Smith. Malcolm, guarded by Ives, goes to work, gets fouled. He will go to the line. Foul is the first one in the game, and it is called on Dominic Ives.
Yeah, and if we look at this, the game between the two teams back in late October, it was Derby 43 of 50 from the line. Obviously, a key emphasis getting to the line.
I do hope you haven't jinxed them right there.
But no, obviously, Zaire Taylor fouled out in nearly 10 minutes in that game as well. So huge emphasis for Worthing to try and keep Derby off the foul line, because if you send a team to line for 50 foul shots, you're going to struggle to win any game.
Well, Malcolm gets both on that occasion, averaging 83% in the league from the line. Zaire Taylor out to Crawford. Crawford back to Hildreth, who drives inside, looking for a way to the basket. And the referee says that's a turnover. Travelling violation called on Hildreth. He leads Worthing with 5 turnovers on the team. 5 turnovers per game. But of course he negates that with his points production, averaging 33 points, dishing off 5 assists as well, and he's quite productive on the rebound side of things too. Conway for Derby, drives inside, puts the shot up, gets to 2 for a 6-2 lead, 7:29 on the clock. Taylor into Ives. Crawford now has it. Good D from Ollie Stanley, the Derby captain. Crawford with a hook shot is good for 2. He has all 4 of the points for Worthing.
Yeah, and Derby bigs always do a great job of staying vertical, making contested shots, but obviously we've seen that before from Worthing, a lot of contact, and they've got the experience that they can still finish around the bigs.
Great pass along the baseline there from Conway, finds Charlie Brown. And we have foul number 2 of the game called on Cameron Hildreth for a hold on Ollie Stanley, the Derby captain. Hildreth checks out of the game early, unusual. Less than 4 minutes played, 6:51 on the clock in fact, and Hildreth is replaced in the Worthing lineup by Tom Ward. Conway with a floater to the hole is no good, rebounded by Ives.
Yeah, and the experience you've got on the Worthing bench, the likes of Tom Ward, we're going to see Max Richardson checking next time out as well. Guys that can easily start at this level, and both these teams have got some depth to play with today. It's always nice to see.
No good that time around. It's being pulled down by Charlie Brown for Derby. Charlie looking for options. Dishes it down into the corner to Bowman. Here's Blake Bowman bringing it inside. Picks it back to Ollie Stanley. The 2-point shot is good. Jump shot from Ollie on that occasion. He has been producing some remarkable slam dunks in recent weeks here in Nottingham. Crawford tries the long 2 for Worthing, no good, rebounded by Ollie. We are having a bit of lag, I think, on the video screen. Our apologies for that. We'll try and get that sorted if we can. Bowman for Derby. Gets it into Stanley. Thought about the shot. Instead, we'll try and beat Crawford going to the hole. Crawford knocks it away, but it will be a Derby end line. Max Richardson now stepping in for Worthing. He would normally be in the starting 5.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise.
Ives.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise he wasn't starting, to be honest. Max obviously come back from a year pro in Denmark, former Loughborough player. Really solid, both ends of the court. It's going to have a tough matchup with Smith, but in fact we switched out with Stanley. But yeah, Max is a really nice player for Worthing to have off the bench today.
I think Max was one of the players who fouled out in the previous league game between Derby and Worthing. Long shot from Blake Bowman is no good, rebounded by Richardson, his first touch of the game. Derby had to shoot that because the shot clock was going. Huge 3-pointer from Zaire Taylor. He was way out then.
Yeah, Zaire, we know he can shoot the ball. NBA range 3, we've seen it before. Wily veteran, knows what he's doing, and really anything within half court, Zaire's happy if you leave him open, so Derby got to be a bit tighter there.
Taylor manages to keep that alive for Worthing. Referee stops the play. Not sure exactly what the call was then. Travelling violation, I think. So back with Derby. The midpoint of the first quarter, 8-7 in this quarter-final tie. Lascelles to Ollie Stanley. Blake Bowman takes it to the hole and is good for 2.
Yeah, Blake Bowman, first Derby player to score more than bucket, and that's the thing about this Derby team, the depth, they can really spread the scoring out.
Sunderland for Worthing, and another 3 there. Didn't see who that came from, but Worthing tying the game at 10. Derby quickly back in front with Malcolm Smith going to work, and Derby get the ball back again with a steal. Lascelles. Nice pass across. Ash Hugo into the fray, puts the shot up, no good, rebounded by Crawford. Tom Ward for Worthing. To Taylor. Looking for another big three. Off target that time. It's rebounded by Rima Lascelles. Long shot from Derby, no good. Sunderland rebounds. And an easy backdoor move from Max Richardson ties the game again at 12 apiece. So Blake Bowman running the point here for Derby briefly. Gets it to Malcolm Smith. Malcolm going to the hole. He's fouled by Sunderland. And he will go back to the line. That three-pointer for Worthing, which I missed earlier, was Tom Ward. Zaire Taylor and Jack Sunderland checking out for Worthing. Ish Fontaine makes his debut, and Cam Hildreth back onto court.
Yeah, both guards, just a quick breather. I expect both Conway and Hildreth will play larger minutes, probably above 35. So just both of them get a quick breather early, get their legs back under them. Obviously, neither team have played in multiple weeks, so this first stint for players is always a little bit difficult. And that second win they'll get. But Derby looking for a bit of a spark off the bench with Ugo, and Iberi is just about to check in. Both were great a few weeks ago against Leicester, and both can really provide a dynamic spark that Derby haven't had really in recent years off the bench.
Malcolm was just 1 of 2 at the line that time. Ish Fontaine will look for 3 for Worthing and nail it. First lead.
I don't know, Ish will be glad about that. He's had some shooting struggles early in the season. 0 of 8 recently, but yeah, it'd be nice to see the first one of the new year go down.
First lead in the game for Worthing. They're 15-13 ahead here. Ash Ugo for Derby to Lascelles, who will look for 3. And that's successful too. Took a little bounce off the rim, but Rima doesn't shoot that many, so good to see him taking that shot confidently and making it. Hildreth, great D from Ugo. My view just obscured briefly by the referee there. Richardson's shot no good, rebounded by Lascelles.
Yeah, and Derby doing a really nice job on Cameron Hildreth right now, managing to stay in front, contest everything. He's really not got going so far.
Here's Malcolm Smith shooting from deep. A little bit longer than his normal range, but he makes it look easy once again. And that's an 18-15 advantage now for Derby, with 1:58 left in the first quarter. Hildreth running the point for the Thunder, looking to go all the way to the hoop. Good D from Derby once again. Jacob Conway for Derby dishes to Ugo in the corner. He can shoot the 3, but decides not to. Malcolm instead shoots the long 2, and it's off target and rebounded by Fontaine.
Yeah, Malcolm Smith, we know, really likes a mid-range jump shot, maybe settling a little bit there against a smaller Richardson. Feel like he could get into the paint more as Worthing throw it away and Derby have the run out.
Easy 2 points there for Jacob Conway on the fast break from Derby. He has 4. As Derby's lead is up to 5 points. Into the final minute almost of this quarter. Howard Crawford goes inside, gets the 2 for Worthing. He's got 6 points now, Crawford. Oh, nice drive inside. Malcolm Smith on the end of it. I think it was Conway with the assist.
Lascelles, I think, on the back door, but again, Worthing started intensely, but then just the moments they have defensively where they just switch off and allow easy buckets, and that's been a trademark that they want to get out of.
Hildreth dishes to Max Richardson, brings it inside. Looked a little dubious there, but he gets the 2.
Yeah, and again, multiple times we've seen Max Richardson get people up in the air on the pump fake. He has got the mid-range, but he does want to drive more, so it's a little bit of a scouting error by the Trailblazers there as they try and run this clock down with about a 1-second differential.
Lascelles has the ball for Derby, feeds it inside to Malcolm Smith, who was just waiting for it and has an easy 2 points there, courtesy of Rima's really good assist. And there is the end of the first quarter with Derby leading it by 24 points to 19.
Yeah, and the Malcolm Smith show in the first quarter there, 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting, got to line for 4 more foul shots as well. So Smith really dominant. Had some moments where he was struggling, especially his rebounding this year. He's not been pleased with it, speaking to him, but we know he's a perennial scorer, and Worthing certainly very unhappy in the timeout here early. A lot of discussion going on between players about defense intensity. You can see just off the camera Zaire and Ishmael Fontaine really discussing things, talking about the defense. So we'll see, but really the key thing is Cameron Hildreth, 0 of 4 from the floor with 1 turnover, and Derby have done a terrific job on the defensive end so far.
Good start by Derby though in this first quarter.
Yeah, and that's what you want as a home team in the quarterfinal. You always want to come out and start well and put your emphasis on it. Both teams obviously didn't quite know how they were going to be with this 4-week layoff. But yeah, Derby will certainly be the happier. But again, we've seen both teams want to go inside a little bit more, and the referees have done a pretty good job of letting go. Only 3 fouls given in the first quarter, but both teams trying to draw in and create contact, and referees acknowledging the offensive players are the ones causing the contact and rewarding defense, which is nice to see.
This is, of course, quarter-final stage of the Llynch Trophy. It's a straight knockout game, unlike the earlier stages which were played in pools. So a place in the semi-finals is up for grabs here this afternoon. Derby back out, ready for the start of the second quarter. Worthing a little slower to come back out, but here they come now. Tom Ward, Dominic Ives, Max Richardson, Cam Hildreth and Ishmael Fontaine for Worthing. Jacob Conway, Charlie Brown, Ronald Abira wearing 5 today, Ash Ugo and Malcolm Smith for Derby. Derby with the opening offense of the second. Conway has it to Charlie Brown, guarded by Hildreth. Abira kicks it into the corner to Ash Ugo, long with the 3 and rebounded by Hildreth. Worthing back on offense. Cam looking for a 3. He's off right. Rebounded by Oberia. Good pickup from the Derbyshire Spartans earlier in the season for the Trailblazers. He's made an impact straight away. Conway to Malcolm Smith. Ugo with a floater. Gets his own rebound, does he? Oh, Malcolm Smith pulls it down in the end, but he can only turn it over as it's picked up by Hildreth, who's looking to go coast to coast and misses the layup. The putback also missed by Worthing. Oberia with the fast outlet. Smith this time keeps it alive, and the shot goes up, and it was blocked by Worthing, but illegally the referee says foul there.
Yeah, Worthing not arguing about the foul, but they thought Oberia just caught the line, trying to save it. Also, so Smith, but again, this Derby energy group with Oberia and Ugo really play a different game, and Worthing yet to receive a foul. Obviously, I feel like they deserve a call and starting to get a little bit scrappy. And with these veteran referees, you've got to keep your composure. They've refereed a lot of games between them, and we've seen a lot of things. So
61% from the line in the league, Nonny. So see what he can do here. First one is off target.
Always the way with the commentator, talk about free throw percentage, and someone virtually misses the next one. Looks like Zaire Taylor will check back in if he makes it, and he doesn't, but Malcolm Smith can't keep it alive, and it will be Zaire coming in, and Cam Hildreth takes another break for the Thunder as they trail by 5 with 9 minutes left in the second quarter.
This is Taylor bringing it up court for the Thunder. Former BBL player, former coach of the Worthing Thunder, now just concentrating on playing. This is Richardson shooting for the 3. No good, and the rebound picked up by Charlie Brown. Great outlet to Ronald Oberia. There was only one option there. You knew he was going to dunk it.
Yeah, and again, Derby trying to push the tempo, trying to get some fast break. We saw it the last time out against Leicester, really push the ball in transition. It's something Matt Shaw's put an emphasis on this year, so it's nice to see that paying off for him.
Fontaine attempting a shot. There's a foul called, the first one on Derby.
Yeah, and just the help side that time by Ashley Ugo, just a little bit late and just caught Ishmael Fontaine on the side, and first foul of the game for Derby. But you've got to say they've defended really well vertically, and there's not been many fouls either end. Both teams have done a great job as Bowman and Stanley check back in for the Blazers, replacing Ugo and Smith.
Interesting reversal of stats so far in the league, at least, with Derby averaging 16 fouls per game and Worthing on 10.83. This time around, though, it's Worthing who 3 fouls to Derby's 1. Fontaine converts the first at the line, gets the second one as well, and cuts that gap back to 5 points. Charlie Brown looking for options, gets it into Ollie Stanley, but he's turned over under the basket, and Ives comes up with the steal. Tom Ward looking for a fast option to shoot, gets it. It's a long 2 from Tom Ward. Conway for Derby. Loses the handle on it. Worthing get the ball, but they then turn it over as well. Sloppy play from both sides, Michael.
Yeah, interesting. Conway decided to let the ball go and not pick it up, and it actually worked out. Normally you just pick it up and stop the transition, but you felt like, I don't know if you got a call from one of the players, but it was an interesting decision, but it kind of worked out, so maybe a bit better lucky than good that time.
That's a good decision on his part then. Ollie Stanley for Derby. Called for a travelling violation. It's an interesting matchup there between Ollie Stanley and Dominic Ives. 2 big men up against one another, and effectively marking each other out of the game at this stage, as Ollie has just 2 points and Ives yet to score. And a timeout is called. 7:30 on the clock. It's Derby with the timeout, leading 26-23. Okay, we have now sorted out the technical issue with the scoreboard. You should be able to see the score on screen now. And we'll try and keep you abreast of the time on the clock too, as we don't have a clock on the screen. 7:30 at the moment in the second quarter, Derby leading by 3. They were 5 points up at the end of the first quarter. Taylor for Worthing. Brings the ball up the court, across the halfway line to Richardson on the wing. Taylor, guarded this time by Blake Bowman. Kicks it back out to Richardson, who looks for the 3, sets himself it short. Dominic Ives goes for the rebound, it's no good, and pulled down instead, this time by Derby's Ronald Oberia. Bowman, long pass cross court to Conway for 3, big points!
Yeah, and Jacob Conway, sharpshooter. Know when Coach Matt Shaw was looking over the summer, that was one of the things he wanted to add to this roster, a little bit more shooting, and Conway's certainly someone that can do that.
Richardson short with that 2-point shot as well, pulled down by Oberia again. Conway, what will he do this time? Cross court to Charlie Brown. Blake Bowman back to Jacob, who will shoot another big 3. No look this time, and it's rebounded by Ives.
Yeah, Conway made one, thought he can make a Zaire Taylor range 3, but a little bit short, as Zaire did shoot that long 3.
Setting up for that one, Worthing with the offensive rebound. Fontaine kicks it round to Tom Ward. Good D from Charlie Brown. Max Richardson along the base is good for 2. Max goes to 6 points. Blake Bowman for Derby, guarded by Ishmael Fontaine. Foul is called by referee Neil Wilkinson. Foul is on Zaire Taylor.
Yeah, and both teams really not getting into many sets right now. It's a lot of individual play, just some basic ball movement, and I wonder if either team try and look to be a little bit more settled in the half court and get into something else, because the offense really isn't clicking right now. All these shots are contested at both ends of the floor.
Back underway, Rima Lascelles has it for Derby. Rima taking it in. Another foul is called.
I'm not...
See who that contact was.
No, nor was I. Either Richardson or Taylor will just wait. It's two, which could still be either of them. So we'll have to wait for the stats to update us, because can't quite see the referee's signal.
It's the second on whoever is showing us 13 on the scoreboard, and this is where the problem lies. That I think it may well be Taylor actually.
I think it is.
Because the issue with the scoreboard here is that the fouls show as 4 to 15, but Worthing are in anything but those numbers in a lot of cases.
Yeah, for sure, and it looks like still waiting for the stats, but obviously just a little bit debate about the way that sub was implemented. I think Zaire wanted Cam to check in for him, presuming that foul was on Zaire. So, yeah, just referee just asking him to calm down a little bit. Things are a little bit emotional here so far.
I think that's actually, yeah, it is confirmed now on the stats as a second foul on Taylor. Malcolm Smith's shot no good there. Rebounded by Worthing. Ishmael Fontaine gets it inside to Howard Crawford, but a foul on Derby is on Charlie Brown.
Yeah, really smart foul. Charlie Brown got switched on transition onto Crawford, and as the ball came in, he just little reach to give the foul on the floor, and rather than giving up an open layup, a really smart move.
Worthing get it in. Hildreth to Crawford. Another foul on Charlie Brown, I think.
Yeah, again, Worthing got the same mismatch. Brown covering Crawford, and it looks like, yeah, it is Brown that will check out, but yeah, it's a match at Worthing like, and they've not got a lot. The guards are struggling right now, so going to Crawford's a really good idea. I think he has been pretty effective so far, so see if they can get him another touch here.
Richardson gets it to Ward. Ward shoots from the free throw line, gets to 2. Moves to 7 points in the game, puts the gap to 2 points with 5:13 on the clock. Ollie Stanley for Derby. Shot no good. Rebounded by Lascelles. Still no good. Rebounded by Stanley. Blocked. Ollie gets his rebound again. Jacob Conway from deep. No good. And finally Worthing get a rebound.
Yeah, and they're the layups you want back. 2 or 3 opportunities at really open layups, okay, off putbacks, but something you can do. And Derby triple team Hildreth to get the steal.
Finished by Blake Bowman with the offensive putback. And a timeout called by Worthing Thunder.
Yeah, and Cam Hildreth really upset, I think, at himself, knowing he was trying to force the ball a little bit. He's really struggled to get anything going this afternoon. Derby's defence is swarming all over him. And in fact, he kicks the foam roller on the bench there. But yeah, Cam Hildreth 0 of 6 so far with 2 turnovers. See if he can just compose himself. First game after Christmas, it is difficult to get into a bit of a rhythm. And Cam's got such high expectation himself. He feels like any time he's not playing his best, he's a little bit disappointed. So I'm sure he'll bounce back. He's a great talent. It's enjoyable to watch him play. So
29-27, 4:47 in the second quarter. Or 4:42 in fact, so I was looking at the stats feed rather than the actual game clock, which is slightly different.
And really, if you look at the stats now, it's the Worthing starters that are struggling. They've got combined 9 points on 4 made field goals. 4 out of 16 shooting for the Worthing starters. It's the bench. Max Richardson 6, Ishmael Fontaine 5, and Tom Ward with 7 that have really kept them in this game so far. and it does look like Hildreth has come out of the timeout, so Worthing trying to protect the youngster and just give him some more time to settle.
So Sunderland back into the game. Tom Ward with the shot for Worthing. It's short, it's rebounded by Malcolm Smith.
Yeah, good execution at the timeout for Worthing. Went to a set and got Ward coming off the baseline stagger screen and got on the wide open look.
Lima Lascelles feeds inside to Blake Bowman under the basket, tries to reverse it. No good, pulled down by Max Richardson. Difficult shot there for him because he was triple teamed. Worthing failing at the opposite end, but Crawford with the putback.
Yeah, but Derby out on the break again, trying to find Bowman. He was trying to split two defenders, but referee Roger Harrison says just a little bit moving. I think Ishmael Fontaine claiming the foul, but again, Derby turning that, even though it was a Worthing score, quick outlet pass and straight down the floor to Bowman. And really Worthing want to get this into the half court because their half court defence has been good so far this afternoon on the whole.
So it'll be an end line ball for Derby. Conway on the wing decides to bring it inside. Kicks it back out to Bowman. Malcolm Smith now from his traditional range. Short. And a foul there, and Malcolm very concerned as to the way in which Ish went to the floor, but I think he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, you could run over Ish with a ton of bricks and he'd probably pick himself up, to be fair, but nice also to see Malcolm Smith realise he'd caught him and straight in to help pick him up, and they had a nice little laugh as Osayi does replace Ish there. And now with 3:45 left, both teams are in team fouls, so not many fouls called in the first quarter, but referees have tightened the game up a little bit, and we should get some free throws in the final 4 minutes.
Taylor is back on court for Worthing, kicks it out to Tom Ward. Ward brings it inside to Crawford with a single-handed slam.
Yeah, and Ollie Stanley, it's a huge dunk by Crawford, but Ollie Stanley tried to make the block, one of the best shot blockers in the league, unable to come up with it, but undeterred. But yeah, credit to Crawford. We'll see that one on a highlight reel for the next couple of days, I imagine.
Jacob Conway with the three in reply for Derby, puts them back in front. Ward to Richardson. Basket is given good. And one to come, I believe.
Yeah, it's a tough finish by Max, but really it was the wrong decision. He had Jack Sunderland crying for the ball all alone on the opposite side of the floor. Now, you can see, I don't know how he missed him, but he did, and instead got the and once. It worked out, but yeah, you can see Sunderland wanting the ball. And
Max Richardson on the line for the bonus. Gets it. Takes him to 9 points, and the game is tied at 34. Lascelles for Derby, challenged by Taylor. Conway now has it. He's getting close attention from Jack Sunderland. Feeds it into Ollie Stanley. 6 on the shot clock. Stanley licks it in and gets the 2 points.
Yeah, Stanley quiet
on his face there as he drove inside.
Yeah, Stanley quiet so far. Only 4 points from one of Derby's leading scorers as Richardson connects again on the mid-range. But yeah, he's got that quick little first step. He's always had it, and it's something that's kind of underrated in his game, that first step off the dribble for Stanley.
Richardson up to 10 points, first Worthing player in double figures, I think. Turned over by Derby, but Bowman gets it back. In fact, the shot clock hasn't reset now, it is turned over as the ball came off the backboard and brought down by Tom Ward. Richardson will look for a three. It's long. Pulled down by Blake Bowman. Bowman will look to go coast to coast. Doesn't get the drop on the basket, but does get the foul.
Again, but came back from effectively a missed layup. Okay, it was a putback. Something I have noticed though, I don't see Cam Hildreth in the arena at the moment. I can't see Cam Hildreth in the arena, so I hope he's not hurt. It'll be a story we'll try and keep an eye on. But Hildreth does not seem to be on the Worthing bench, so we'll keep an eye on that as Bowman misses and Derby's free throw will really continue. 3 of 7 from the line now on the day.
Didn't see him leave, but you're right, he isn't in the hall at the moment as far as we can see. Second free throw to come for Blake Bowman. 1:54 left in the second quarter. And he is short with that one too. Derby has missed 4 out of 7 free throws. Rebounded there by Jacob Conway from Zaire Taylor's miss. Conway brings it down court quickly. Puts up the shot, it's well short. Worthing with the rebound.
Yeah, and good D by Max Richardson. Little block on the fadeaway. Both teams really contesting jump shots well this afternoon.
Richardson surely is going to get called for a travel there, you'd think, but the referees are going to converse. Yeah, it is a travel that's called, yeah.
Yeah, he went up, came down, and came back out to it, and Matt Shaw will use his last time out of the first half with 1:24 to go. We are tied at 36, and it's a super competitive game, and it, just as we'll see Cam Hildreth is coming back into the arena, so good news for Worthing, hopefully, that he is back on the lineup and hopefully can come back into this game.
Yeah, and coming back in with Worthing's team manager, who I think doubles as a physio too with the team. So maybe he has needed to have some treatment, but hopefully he'll be able to continue in the game.
Yeah, and it started to get a little bit chippy this game. Both teams wanting calls from the referees, both set of coaches wanting calls from the referees. And look, ultimately, we've all been there as players and coaches. You want every call. Didn't have a great view of the travel, but referee saying Richardson never let go of the ball. So when he went up, came back down with that is the travel. But both teams trying to see, and you see that dialogue going. It's nice that players are able to have that little bit of dialogue with these referees that have the experience to do so.
Max Richardson just asking for some clarification as well about something that's happened from Neil Wilkinson. Gives a thumbs up now as play resumes. Derby's possession, 1:22 left in the second quarter. The score's tied at 36 all. Lascelles finds Ollie Stanley at the top of the three-point arc. Lascelles gets it back. Feeds inside to Malcolm Smith, who is called for an offensive foul.
Yeah, it's one of those, the player doesn't need to go down. Richardson got there, his feet were set, Smith went through his chest. And normally you see the player go down, but again, it's a great call.
Yeah. Taylor for Worthing, inside the final minute of the second. Dominic Ives looking for 3, nails it. Long 2, in fact.
Yeah, Ives just towed the line, and it's Derby again trying to feed Smith underneath, caught under the hoop, but a little knock in the back, I think, from Ives. And I think Derby trying to get Smith out of the game right now. He did pick up his second foul, so it'll be interesting to see if this is for Smith.
Yep, second foul called on Ives. Checking in for Worthing is former player coach Josh Goddard. Now just a player again.
Okay, we'll fix it at half-time. Yeah, and it is Jake Chilver that's going to be checking in for Malcolm if he makes it. Matt Shaw trying to get him out of the game. Obviously, you can't get the guy shooting the free throws out of the game.
Both successful for Malcolm this time around.
And yeah, 41.1 seconds to go here. See, Worthing try and get 2 for 1. I wonder if Zaire will go quick here. Early pick and roll, perhaps.
Taylor gets it inside to Goddard, who gets the 2 and draws a whistle. So a chance for 3-point play with 30.5 seconds left in the second.
Yeah, nice to come straight off the bench and get an M1 layup to start the year.
Indeed, he doesn't score that many, doesn't get many minutes in either, but doesn't convert the bonus. Rebound pulled down by Lascelles. Lascelles will run some time off the clock here. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Down to 6.
Feeds it inside to Ollie Stanley. Ollie gets the points to count. 5 seconds remaining in the half. It's tied at 40. Dyer Taylor shoots from the half court. Good D from Ash Hugo, preventing him from getting any further up the court. And we are tied at the half-time break, 40 points all.
Did Goddard make his free throw?
No, he didn't.
Stats said he did, so that will get the stats fixed. But yeah, no, really entertaining first half here in Nottingham. Both teams going at it, playing through a lot of contact, really physical game. And I thought coming in, I'd be surprised if it was more than a 1 or 2 possession game coming down the stretch, and we're certainly on pace for that. Hildreth hasn't got anything going for Worthing in the first half, but Max Richardson and Howard Crawford both been huge for the visitors. And as for Derby, Malcolm Smith 13, Jacob Conway 10, kind of the normal shooting, but neither massively efficient, both 4 of 9. So it'll be interesting to see how we go and in the second half. And
yeah, Derby just edging the rebounding with 25 rebounds to 21. And they also have more assists, 16 assists to 11 from Worthing here at the Nottingham Wildcats Arena. It's the Llynch Trophy quarter-final tie. It's half-time, and it's all square at 40-40 as we take a break. Welcome back then to the Nottingham Wildcats Arena. The Llynch Trophy quarter-final tie between Derby Trailblazers and Worthing Thunder is all square at the half-time break, 40 points apiece. Derby being led at the half-time break by Malcolm Smith on 13, Jacob Conway on 10, Blake Bowman and Ollie Stanley both on 6, Rima Lascelles on 3 and Ronald Oberia 2, and Worthing have Max Richardson on 11, Howard Crawford on 10, Tom Ward 7, Ishmael Fontaine 5, Josh Goddard and Dominic Ives both on 2. And perhaps surprisingly, Cameron Hildreth yet to score, having gone 0 from 5 in the first half.
Yeah, it looks like Cam Hildreth was warming up at half-time, so hopefully he's in a fit enough state that he can continue in the second half. And I think if you told Worthing at half before the game that Cam wouldn't have scored and you'd be level at half-time, I think they probably would have taken it. Because obviously Cam, 25, 30 points a game normally, really dynamic scorer. So the fact that they've not got anything from him and still put 40 on the board, real pleasing. And both teams really not shooting the ball great from the perimeter, 3 of 8 and 3 of 9 respectively. I think the big thing for Derby is trying to tidy up some of the offensive rebounds. We've had the 8 offensive rebounds, but only scored the 1 basket off it. And that always hurts. If you can get some points off your second chances, always valuable. And Worthing, despite having half the offensive rebounds, got more points than that. It's a big thing. But again, these two teams are really evenly matched, both trying to score in the paint. Both teams playing good defense around the rim and really contesting shots. And yeah, it's been a great game to watch, and I don't expect anything different in the second half.
And Derby normally strong at converting those offensive rebounds into points, so it's perhaps something that they will have talked about in the half-time break, and really something that they need to improve on as the second half continues here in Nottingham.
Yeah, and also free throws might well be needed to shoot 50% at half time's not really what we're looking for. But again, it looks like it'll be interesting to see what Worthing do with lineups, because they've had a lot of success when their players come off the bench. We were a bit surprised that Max Richardson didn't start, but he's got 11. Tom Ward's contributed 7. So they've had a lot of bench scoring. It will be Richardson that will start and Ward. So nice little adjustment there by Coach Stanley at half-time, just to get the players that are playing well into the lineup.
In contrast, Derby go with the same starting 5 as they had in the first quarter. Worthing will inbound from Taylor to Richardson. Richardson looking for options. It's broken up by Derby straight away. Bowman with the steal. Blake Bowman looking to go all the way, and he collides into the end wall. He's okay though. There will be 2 shots to come for him as a foul was committed.
Yeah, and Bowman just head down in transition. Didn't ever really look like he was going to pass it, so perhaps gave himself a chance for the defender that was about to take a charge, but tried to gamble a little bit on the passing lane and come back to Bowman just a little bit late to get there.
Blake makes the first. Misses the second, but gets his own rebound for the second. So Derby back in possession. Malcolm Smith under pressure from Richardson, takes it to the hole. Malcolm with a great drive inside and takes it to a 3-point lead for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, good start from Derby, steal and then getting an offensive rebound to extend the lead. And we talked about second chance points. There's 2 right there off the bat as Bowman comes up with another steal, not quite.
Richardson gets it back for Worthing. Tom Ward with the fadeaway is good for 2. Back to a 1-point game at 43-42.
And Worthing completely lost in transition with matchups. Conway misses the open 3, and I think Sunderland was looking like a press, but you can't really leave Conway open, and Worthing lucky to get away with that there.
Sunderland on the baseline into Howard Crawford. Crawford looks to beat Ollie Stanley, throws it straight back to Charlie Brown, who says thank you very much, and sets up the new Derby play. Gets it into Malcolm Smith, gets a 2, and a 3rd personal foul, I think, is going to be on Zaire Taylor. Let's just wait and see what the referee calls. Yep, Zaire Taylor picks up foul number 3 from Malcolm Smith.
Yeah, Zaire swiped at the ball, and referee Roger Harrison says he got the arm. Zaire said he missed it, but whenever you decide to take a gamble like that and just reach in, you leave yourself to the opportunity if you called a foul, whether it was or not. And it is a third for Zaire, first one in the game on 3 fouls.
Malcolm converts the 3-point play. Derby on D. Howard Crawford kicks it back out to Jack Sunderland, looking for 3. It's no good. It's rebounded by Smith. Blake Bowman brings it up court and slows things down now for Derby. Back to Conway on the perimeter. Conway bringing it inside this time. Dishes it to Ollie Stanley. And Conway really showing there just how versatile a guard he is. He can take it in, he can shoot from outside, he can do a bit of everything.
Yeah, he can. And Worthing again trying to get the ball down to Crawford consistently this half. Obviously something they feel like he had some success early, but Stanley doing a really good job on the defensive end yet again.
And he gets the rebound as well, having done that great defensive job on Howard Crawford. Crawford back in the British League after several years playing elsewhere in the world. He played for the Leopards many years ago. Malcolm Smith converts another 2, and Worthing says, hang on a minute, that gap is getting too big. They call timeout as Derby have taken the opening stages of the 3rd quarter by 10 points to 2.
Yeah, and Derby pretty much perfect from the floor in this half. Only that Conway wide open 3 where they've not got a score on the possession. So Worthing really lost a little bit of defensive discipline there. The possession Derby missed was a wide open 3, and a really smart time out there by Coach Stanley just to regroup and settle down. Looks like it's the thing with the dynamic that Worthing got so many players that can contribute in terms of talking. Ishmael Fontaine, one of their best defenders, looks like he's leading the huddle right now, and good news for the Thunder fans, it looks like Cam Hildreth is going to check back into the game.
I think Ish has always been somebody who's been very vocal and very, very passionate and wanting to get the wins, and probably like a lot of people in Worthing at the moment, when you look at their league record, they won't be happy as to the number of times that they haven't come up with that win. So we're back underway with a Worthing possession. Tom Ward will play points this time.
Yeah, another side ball screen, and Derby are defending this really well as try and get Richardson on like the Spanish pick and roll type action, but again it's really Worthing only looking for Crawford right now. It's a little bit predictable.
Great D once again from Ollie Stanley on Howard Crawford.
Yeah, but Ward did well to get the tip in, just a little bit unlucky, as one of my good friends Pablo Cheeks would say, first wedgie of the year.
Conway looking for another 3 from the corner this time, no good, and it's pulled down eventually by Worthing. Sunderland taking it inside. Ooh, Blake Bowman trying to look for the steal, but he's going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, he called for the block there, just didn't quite, was still moving side to side, and as well as getting the ball, bit of body contact and send Worthing to a much needed trip to line, but again, Worthing a little bit lucky, leaving probably the best shooter on the Trailblazers wide open. There's back-to-back threes he missed this half, knock those down, and we're talking a completely different game right now, but Worthing just trying to survive this period.
Sunderland on the line, dead on 7 minutes on the clock in the 3rd quarter. He makes the first, misses the second, and it's rebounded by Ollie Stanley, and here come the Blazers once again. Conway takes it to the hole, misses it, gets his own rebound, still misses it from the other side. Tussle on the floor, but Worthing eventually come away with a loose ball. Taylor kicks it out to Sunderland. Richardson now. Good D from Ollie Stanley. Richardson makes a shot though. Made it look easy, but I think it was a much harder shot than it looked.
Yeah, Max is a great mid-range shooter. We've seen it in the first half, but he's developed that over his time at Loughborough. He's really improved as Zaire Taylor blocks Bowman from behind. A little bit of a risky play perhaps on 3 fouls, but good hands by the veteran.
Still going to be a Derby ball. Jacob Conway taking a breather, replaced by Ash Ugo. Rima Lascelles is coming back in for Derby as well. He'll replace Charlie Brown. Lascelles. Puts it into Stanley down low, and Ollie couldn't get a hand on it, and it's gone out of bounds on the end line for a turnover. Tom Ward wide open, looking for three. Again, one of those players that you can't do that to.
I think Matt Shaw wanted a timeout there, but it also looked like it was it's gone on the scoreboard as a 2. So maybe again the Worthing just towing the line. It's the second or third time they've done that.
Derby turn it over again, and Derby will definitely want to take a timeout after this. If this basket goes in, Ward is short though, rebounded by Ugo. And they make their possession count this time. Lascelles has it for Derby. To Bowman, thinks about the three, fakes it, puts it up the second time. Rebounded by Ollie Stanley, who's ripped by Zaire Taylor. And Taylor's outlet pass is stripped by Remus Lascelles. Bowman going to work, gets contact, he'll go to the line for 2. Fouls on Howard Crawford.
Matt Shaw quick to cancel the timeout there. He had one. He was massively unhappy with how Derby defended the last couple of possessions. A little bit late trying to get timeout after the Ward 2, and maybe got bailed out by Ward taking that mid-range pull-up in transition. Opportunity there really to get to the rim, and instead he's able to regroup without using the timeout, which might prove valuable.
Very much so. Blake Bowman for Derby then, while Derby still in the huddle, will take the 2 free throws. Cameron Hildreth just checked back in for Worthing as well. Blake makes the first from the line and sinks the second as well. So he goes to 50% from the line. And the lead, 52-47, 5:21 on the third quarter clock. Foul is called on Malcolm Smith. That's Malcolm's third.
Yeah, so now 2 key players for both teams on 3 fouls. Smith for Derby, Taylor for Worthing. It'll be see how the coaches manage it, and a lot of trust to keep the players not to get a 4th as Crawford runs over Stanley. Is given as an offensive foul. Stanley just getting in front, and we saw a similar one called in the first half with Richardson taking the charge down here, and Worthing into a little 2-2-1 press, and Derby have had some success breaking it, but haven't been able to really convert shots afterwards so far.
Second foul in quick succession on Crawford. Basket good for Ollie Stanley.
Yeah, and Derby lucky really, a bit of a loose pass by Bowman. Stanley lucky to get his hands on it, but he's so lethal from that 4-foot range just to convert.
Taylor with a long 3 is no good. It's rebounded by Stanley. Really coming into his own in the third quarter. Blake Bowman kicks it out across court, and a foul is called. It's an offensive on Blake. Second personal foul on Blake Bowman then.
And it looks like while running into him, Crawford may have taken a low blow.
Crawford that's down.
Yeah, he may have taken a bit of a blow, but he looks like he's okay. Just
possibly just a little bit winded.
Winded, yeah. A little bit higher than I. Glad it wasn't any lower, that's for sure. As wonder if Matt's going to protect Malcolm here. No, it's Blake, who is also on 3 fouls. So Derby a little bit of foul trouble, despite only having the 10 fouls on the afternoon so far.
Yeah, I'll have that down as his second, but yeah, it is his third, as you say. So he's taken out the game for the moment. Taylor. Derby players thought that the ball had come off Taylor last, but referee Roger Harrison saying no, it's the Worthing end line. And it's going to come back in from Cameron Hildreth, who's back in the game, as we mentioned a few moments ago. To Richardson. Back to Hildreth. Foul is called on Remus Lascelles.
And again, now both teams have got 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Now both teams in team fouls, so we will be shooting on any other fouls. So again, both teams have a chance to extend the scoring from the line, which will be helpful because Boston in the half court are hard to come by.
No good from Crawford. Rebound is collected by Ollie Stanley. He's becoming a beast on the boards. Long outlet for Derby. Ash Ugo. Lascelles looking for options. Gives it up to Ollie Stanley. Nice drive from Stanley through the centre of the paint for 2 points, and it's a 6-0 run for Derby.
Yeah, and Stanley's really dominating this second half right now. Didn't have a lot going in the first half, but 6 quick points here to start the second, and this is the thing with the Derby depth. They can really do this. Anyone can step up and score.
Sunderland for Worthing, feeds it into Crawford. Crawford is off target and he's called for a travel as well.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see a few bodies in the way, but looked like he just shuffled his feet before he went up for the floater, and Derby really starting to stretch this lead, and I think Worthing have just got to survive, keep this under single digits in the fourth, and then see if they can make a run down the stretch now.
3:45 on the third quarter clock. Lascelles gets it into Ollie Stanley, this time shooting from deep, banks it off the glass. And as you were saying, Michael, Ollie is really starting to really influence this game in a big way, not just from points, but he's getting a lot of rebounds and doing good work on defense too. Hildreth thinks about the three, nails the three, that's his first points in the game.
Yeah, and Derby just over-collapsed there on the roll. Nice little pump fake from Hildreth and had time to settle his feet and knock down his first field goal.
Lascelles guarded by Richardson for Worthing. Shuts it back and it's stripped away by Hildreth. And Hildreth is called for a travel. And he doesn't like that call.
Yeah, he caught the ball and he was trying to spin, but he's saying he didn't have possession, but referee, I think, had possession. He kind of fumbled it once he'd already caught it, and that's what caused the travel. But again, Worthing active in passing lanes as well, so.
Back underway with Derby, and Lascelles gives it up to Stanley. Ollie feeds Jacob Conway. Back into Lascelles. Shot clock expiring as Ash Ugo shoots but misses, and it's pulled down by Richardson. Derby were unaware of the shot clock situation there.
Stanley just a little bit late on the hedge. Will pick up his first personal, I believe, but Hildreth to the line, and yet again the youngster finds himself on the floor. He's plays such an aggressive style, tries to draw a lot of contact. Great team.
Actually limping as well as he picks himself up and gets himself ready to take those free throws, so he must have taken a little bit of a whack there from Ollie.
Yeah, I think the knee just caught him in the upper thigh, and anyone that's played before knows it's a little bit of a sore one, but shake it off and tough. And Hildreth now dominating the touch. You've seen it from Worthing, first Crawford, now Hildreth, and it'll be only a question for Worthing is it a little bit too predictable where the ball's going? It's not really finding other players in the offense at the moment.
Hildreth missing the first from the line, only shoots 65% from the free throw line. Second one is successful. .239 left in the third quarter. Jacob Conway kicks out to Ronald Aberia, looking for three. Oh, in and out for Ronald. Pulled down by Cameron Hildreth. He feeds it inside to Richardson. Gets the two despite the attentions of Aberia.
Yeah, and again, all pressured by Hildreth. Derby were trying to get, Conway was the first one back and under the rim, and with Stanley and Smith senior, they were trying to get Conway back out, but just left Richardson wide open under the rim instead.
Malcolm is called for a travel. He just lost the handle on the ball.
Exactly the same thing we saw with Hildreth. Caught the ball, kind of fumbled it, and Derby will use a timeout as well and get a bit of momentum. And
so we have 2 minutes and 6 remaining in the third quarter as the timeout is called by the Trailblazers. 2 minutes and 6 left in the third quarter as we welcome you back to the Nottingham Wildcats Arena. The Llynch Trophy quarter-final tie between the Trailblazers and Thunder. Derby leading 58-53 at this stage. Worthing with possession.
Trying to extend this run.
Who's running the point.
We were just talking off camera about this quarter being a runs, both teams making them. Derby did have the lead out to 11, but Worthing had thought back well. Chance to make it a one-possession game here.
Taylor's three-pointer was no good. He's going for another one. That's no good either. This time it's recycled by Jacob Conway. Previously it had been captured by Crawford. Oberia thought about the three, brings it inside instead. Turns the ball over.
Yeah.
Tried to find a gap between Crawford and Taylor that probably wasn't there.
Yeah, trying to split three players on the drive there. You just got to see that, get to a jump stop or get to a stop, find a pivot and find someone open. But again, Derby not quite taking advantage of Worthing's transition defence. They've had opportunities to run and they've just not converted open shots or attack closeouts well enough to keep the scoreboard ticking over at times.
Hildreth for Worthing. Hildreth with the floater is no good, but he will go to the line. Fouled by Ollie Stanley. And Cam again looking like he's winded there, having taken the fall.
Yeah, but that's what Cam does so well. He leaves his feet early and he's just able to glide, and defenders are trying to get them. They're always just a lot of the times they're just that little bit late, and Stanley was just still sliding over, and it's the right call. But that all came because Cam got that second step in so quickly and was just able to explode up to the rim.
Cam makes the first of this set and completes the set as well. So 3 out of 4 for him at the line as the gap is cut to just 3 points with 1:21 left in the third. Bowman to Stanley. Stanley looking to get it inside, doesn't, gets it back, feeds it into Malcolm Smith. And it's an offensive foul call
on Stanley. I think that'll be his third. So Bowman, Stanley, Smith all with 3. And Derby right now, just all they're trying to do is penetrate, and Worthing are there early and either contesting it, collapsing. On that time, Crawford was there early enough to take the charge, and Worthing have done a great job.
Hildreth bringing it up to Thunder. He's looking to go all the way. Gets it inside. And he's going back to the line. This time I think the foul is on Jacob Conway.
Everything's just out this pick and roll action. This time tried to get Crawford on a bit of a delay, on the back screen by Richardson, but Hildreth took it all the way himself, and that's the thing. He can be so aggressive and struggle from the floor early, but getting himself to the foul line just got himself settled in, and I'm sure as the game goes on, he'll get more confident. His jump shot will start to come back to him as well.
First one misses from Hildreth. Second one is all string. Cuts the gap to 2. Inside the final minute of the third. Jacob Conway for Derby feeds Malcolm Smith. Malcolm to Blake Bowman. Bowman gets it round to Smith, who is being double-teamed by Taylor and Crawford. Goes out of bounds, but it will be Derby's ball.
Yeah, 2 blocks by Zaire, being aggressive on 3 fouls, doubling down on Smith. Derby got 5 seconds left. Big thing here, because Worthing on a 9-0 run. Derby haven't scored in nearly 4 minutes.
Charlie to Jacob. Jacob double-teamed, and Jacob turns it over on the baseline. And he was looking for a call there that I don't think was coming. Just going for a word now with the referee to find out what was seen.
Again, it's all come from Derby driving the ball. They're just almost scared to shoot a jump shot right now, and it is so predictable as Matt Shaw takes a load of players out here trying to protect on 3. So we'll see Stanley and Smith both sit for the final 32 seconds to make sure they don't pick up the 4th foul going into the 4th quarter.
So 27 seconds left in the third. Taylor is running the play for Worthing. Whatever happens here, it won't be the last possession of the third, as there will still be time on the clock. Sunderland looking for three. Nails the three off an assist from Richardson, and they are in front by one. Second three in the game for Sunderland. Here come Derby. Lascelles to Charlie Brown. Blake Bowman puts the shot up, doesn't drop, and Worthing in front at the end of the third, which has been an absolute seesaw with runs going in each direction. Derby starting it with a 10-2 run, then a 5-0 run from Worthing, then an 8-0 run from Derby, and Worthing capping it off with I think that's a 12-point run, is it?
Yep, 12-0 run.
12-0 run for Worthing right at the end of the third.
Yeah, the last 3.5 minutes, 12-0 run. And really, it's Derby's inability to shoot jump shots right now. Everything is driving into the paint, and Worthing are just collapsing. We talked about a little bit earlier that Derby, even when they're trying to push, and Worthing went to the press, but Derby just weren't making the right decisions of exploiting it. And Derby really can get out in transition. They've just not been effective, and maybe we see some at Christmas break starting to come back in, where limited training and stuff, and they're just not fluid enough. And credit to Worthing, we talked about maybe perhaps just trying to need to hold on to get to the third and make a run, but they've made it now, and it's anyone's game going into the fourth, and that's what we want going into a quarter-final. Though we want this to be up for grabs, and right now the momentum's with Worthing, and we'll see what happens.
Certainly all to play for, and this tie every bit as close as we thought it would be. Derby Trailblazers 58, Worthing Thunder 59, going into the final quarter to decide who is going through to the semi-finals of the Llynch Trophy.
Yeah, and obviously the rest of the quarterfinals were due to be played today, but with everything going on, they've been pushed back. I'm sure they'll be played in the upcoming weeks. And also, while we've got a quick second while teams are coming out, probably mentioned for the Trailblazers, BBL Trophy draw obviously happened in the week, and a bit of an interesting draw for Derby. We'll host Solent Kestrels in an all-NBL Division 1 tie. It was a little bit slim odds of that happening, but happened. And speaking to Matt Shaw, a little bit disappointing not to get a BBL side, but Solent going to be super competitive. Obviously made the final last week, and it's something to look forward to later in the year.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of the Derby fans will be disappointed that they don't get to play a genuine BBL side, although the thing is with Solent, they are as good as many BBL sides, so it will be a tough one for Derby. Derby starting the fourth with a steal. Jacob Conway is fouled as he drives into the basket.
Jack Sunderland trying to say that's on the floor. Give him a little bit of advice. If he wants it on the floor, it's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul. So claim it on the shots and send them to the line, so you don't give shots and possession instead.
So Conway on the line for two. Makes the first. An unusual miss for Jacob. Only gets the one, tying the game up at 59 all. Max Richardson replies with a three for Worthing. And a steal from Jack Sunderland. Feeds it back to Richardson, who was looking for the dunk. It doesn't go through. He missed the basket completely. Derby get the rebound. Lascelles gets it across half court.
We've seen a highlight dunk in the first half by Crawford. Now we've seen a blooper dunk by Richardson.
Blocking foul is called on Jacob Conway as Hildreth was careering off down court after a Derby turnover. Sideline possession to come for Worthing, who lead by 3.
Yeah, and Cam Hildreth starting to grow into this game. I think it's the 13th. Oh no, I've looked at the wrong set of stats. I was going to say the 13th time he's been fouled. It's not been that many, but certainly in the last 5 minutes, it's probably 5 or 6 fouls he's drawn.
Sunderland for Worthing. Puts up the shot. He's well short. Airballed it, in fact, from roughly the free throw line. and Derby will inbound from the end line.
Just a little issue as the clock didn't start on the inbound, but Max Richardson really quietly having a super impressive game. He's up to 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for the former Loughborough player. I think leading all scorers, certainly for Worthing, and yeah, only Malcolm Smith with 20, he's got more on the day.
Back underway here with Derby in possession. Malcolm Smith has it, and he will shoot from deep. It's not good. It's off target to the left, pulled down by Cameron Hildreth. Taylor now gets it back from Hildreth. Taylor into Crawford. Good D from Ollie Stanley, but Crawford converts. And Worthing with their biggest lead of the game. Brought back up by Rima Lascelles. Lascelles feeds into Malcolm Smith. Good 2 points from Malcolm.
Well, that's really pretty by Rima Lascelles. Worthing trying to ice the ball screen, and Lascelles just split it, and then Smith with the perfectly timed backdoor cut.
Hildreth across the baseline is no good. Crawford with the putback is good though. Lead back up to 5 points, 66-61 at 7:52 in the third. Lascelles, another great feed, and a fourth foul on Zaire Taylor as he tries to stop Ollie Stanley from getting the easy score.
Yeah, Zaire again got his hand on the ball, but this time coming from behind, momentum just carried him into Stanley, and he's going to have to be really careful down the stretch. It'll be interesting to see if he comes out or if he trusts himself really to play with 4. And I imagine in the quarter-final it's one of those that it's a really tough decision, but it looks like Worthing are just going to roll with it, and if he fouls out, he fouls out.
And of course he did foul out in the league match between these two sides earlier in the season. Ollie Stanley converts both at the free throw line, cutting the gap to 3. Crawford here for Worthing. Again, good D from Ollie Stanley. Sunderland round to Hildreth. Hildreth will look for the 3. It's well short. He's airballed it, in fact, and it's pulled down by Malcolm Smith. Ollie going all the way to the basket. He gets the 2. He draws the foul as well, and that is another 4th foul on Worthing, this time on Jack Sunderland.
Yeah, did the right thing. We saw him take the charge early in the third quarter, but that time just still moving a little bit late, and nice play, but Derby again managed to get out in transition and just attack, and Worthing just haven't picked up those deeper runners. It's 3 or 4 times we've seen Stanley kind of on that delayed trail get something to the rim, and that's something Derby have to exploit down the stretch here, get the easy scores, because the half-court offense just hasn't been clicking.
Ollie is long with the free throws, so fails to tie the game up. Hildreth back in possession for Worthing, drives inside, puts the shot up, gets his own rebound, and gets fouled.
Yeah, and again, it's all come from Derby giving up offensive rebounds, because so many guys are collapsing on drives that there's just the chance for people to get tip-ins, and Worthing haven't really connected on the tip-ins, but we've seen all those come, and that's where Worthing getting some success, and Hildreth back to the line yet again.
Hildreth short with the first. Can he do with the second? He sinks the second. Lascelles into Ollie Stanley. Ollie with the hook shot, doesn't get there, gets his own rebound from nowhere and scores to tie the game at 67.
Yeah, we said earlier, Stanley really coming in. The Derby bigs now combined 42 points on the night, really keeping their side alive in this quarter-final tie.
Taylor gets it into Crawford. Crawford guarded by Ollie. Max Richardson looking for three, nails it. His second triple of the game, I believe.
Yeah, 21 points now for Max. Second triple of the afternoon. And again, it's Cam Worthing consistently find him because he has the hot hand on the team from the floor.
Ollie going to work again. Good D from Worthing, stripping him away. Hildreth coming up with it and powering down court. Spins under the basket, gets 2 points.
That's great footwork. Fate to go under, got caught under the rim. Fate one side came back, and that was really good D, but just even better finishing. And that's the development we've seen and we've come to know from Cam Hildreth.
Just under 6 minutes remaining. Derby looking for a big three. That's Jacob Conway. Cuts the gap back to 2. Jacob didn't score in the third quarter, but making his mark there in the fourth. Hildreth back to Crawford. Crawford kicks it out to Richardson, looking for another triple. Doesn't get there, but he's fouled by Rima Lascelles, and he will go to the line for 3 shots.
Yeah, you've got to know better on closeouts, not to foul to shoot. It's one thing. Kind of now with the landing space rule changing, you see some of them, but just to be lazy enough to close out at the body and catch the arm is just silly, and you wouldn't expect that from someone with Rima Lascelles' experience. And in these close games, you can't really afford for those things to happen too often down the stretch.
Well, Richardson so far has been averaging just 50% from the free throw line. He has 3 opportunities here. He's made the first and missed the second. And he's made the third. And a timeout called by Derby, 5:23 left in the game. It's a 4-point lead for Worthing Thunder.
Yeah, and Worthing just not really broken it down enough, but everything you see is from side pick and roll, and Derby have done an inconsistent job of dealing with it. Sometimes they're hedging and giving up the roll. They're not really on the hedge. Cam's been able to blow by and get down the lane, and really Worthing aren't using the weak side of the floor. And I wonder if Coach Matt Shaw's going to look at something and try and change something up down the stretch, maybe a trap and a help on the roll, more from the weak side to try and get the ball out of Hildreth's hands a little bit more, because he's really dominated this game in the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, Hildreth has been the difference. He's suddenly found that skill that we all know that he has, and he's transformed the way Worthing have been playing in the second half since he came back in. Didn't start the third quarter, but was brought back in off the bench and has really dominated proceedings since then. So Derby's timeout is over. Worthing are still talking. Jacob Conway, Blake Bowman, Malcolm Smith, Rima Lascelles and Ollie Stanley, the 5 for Derby, back out on court. Worthing with Crawford, Taylor, Hildreth, Ward and Richardson. Malcolm Smith dishes to Jacob Conway, nails a 3, all string Jacob Conway. Big bucket that one, off an assist from Malcolm Smith.
Yeah, nice timeout action. Matt Shaw noticed that Conway just hit one, wanted to go straight back to him, so he did and made it. But Worthing again having success out of this side pick and roll. It looks like Crawford will head to line for 2.
I think that's number 4 maybe on Rima Lascelles. Yes, it is. 4th foul on Rima Lascelles. It's going to send Crawford to the line for 2. First one is good. Second one, no good. Rebounded by Ollie Stanley. So a 2-point difference with just under 5 minutes remaining.
Apologise, seems like the connection issue's gone a little bit again as Smith is blocked by Crawford. Huge block, Worthing run out, Camp. Right-handed layup is good. But huge, big-time block by Crawford down the stretch. Worthing's lead back up to 4. 4.5 left to go.
That could be a crucial play there for Worthing. Blake Bowman's shot missing out, and this could be another breakaway one from Hildreth. It is, he gets the 2. And the lead is suddenly up to 6 points, 4:21 left in the ball game. Derby need a score on this possession. Charlie Brown has it, outside the perimeter, looking for options. Wants to get it inside low to Ollie Stanley, does so. Ollie guarded by Richardson. Out to Charlie Brown, who will take on the 3. No good, and rebounded by Worthing.
Yeah, and again, Worthing's defense a lot better in the last 5-10 minutes, and Derby struggling. Really, the bigs have had success, and they've not got there.
Big shot from Hildreth, this time rims out, pulled down by Jacob Conway. Conway for Derby. Gets it into Malcolm Smith. Smith will shoot. Short. And Derby can't buy a basket at the moment, and it's hurting them. Hildreth has it for Worthing.
Well, Zaire thought about it, but I think even for him, that was a little bit too deep, and instead up 6, going to happy to use the clock. And it's a little bit early to do that, but he is isolated on Stanley. And see if he takes the pull-up here. 4 on the clock.
Shoots the 3 now. Off target, rebounded by Charlie Brown.
Yeah, it's a poor possession really by Zaire. Had a lot of success, and
that's long from Ollie Stanley, and rebounded again by Cameron Hildreth. 2:50 left in the game. Hildreth now doing likewise and running precious seconds off the clock. Derby need to deny this basket, wherever it comes from. It's looking like it's going to be Crawford who goes for it. Doesn't score, rebounded by Ollie Stanley. Blake Bowman for Derby. They need a quick score here. Conway puts up the 3. He's way long with it. And this game is slipping away from Derby.
Yeah, it's bizarre. The offense from both teams has just gone. I'm not sure Worthing just running the clock down doing them much good, but up 6 can kind of get away with not scoring. Derby's offense completely dry, and they don't like creating anything at the moment.
Crawford gets the 2. Timeout is called by Derby, and that is a lengthy period that Derby haven't scored. 1:59 on the clock, and by my reckoning, the Derby's last score was the 3-pointer from Jacob Conway, which must have been around the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, at the timeout, I think, yeah, 5:20, so 3:20 down the stretch, scoreless. Worthing 7-0 run, and really, I think this game's almost done. To be honest, Derby just don't look like they've got anything creative on the offensive end. Worthing deflating the air out of the basketball, using all the clock already, and unless Derby can come up with something drastic offensively, will do it. And they just don't seem super connected right now. Reem Lascelles not really that engaged in this current huddle that's going on. Perhaps this morning he's not on the court, but when you get tons of misses, I think Matt Shaw has had a timeout at the table for a while. He just couldn't get it.
And this is his last timeout as well, which last chance to try and change anything. Worthing still have 2 left if they need anything.
Yeah, but you have to call timeout there. There's no choice. Like you had nothing creative or off going, and I'll be interested to see if he advances the ball, because he does have the option just inside 2 minutes. He won't, but got to give credit to Worthing's defense. That's really what stepped up in the last. Derby had that initial run at half time, the first 3 minutes, but after that, Worthing's defense has been great, blocks at the rim and creating loads of different issues. So, see what happens in the last 2 minutes.
Ugo to Reem Lascelles. Ugo now has it back. Jacob Conway looking for 3. He mailed the 3 off the timeout last time, misses it this time, and Worthing come down the rebound. Costly gamble from Derby, and it didn't pay off. Tom Ward has it to Taylor, who will happily run time off the clock. It's down to 13 on the shot clock already. Hildreth now has it with 10 on the clock and 1:34 in the game. Crawford short with the basket. Ollie Stanley rebounds. Reem Lascelles has to do something special here, and all he does is turn it over. Stolen by Max Richardson. Richardson to Hildreth. Tom Ward has it in a dangerous position where he could shoot the 3, but doesn't. Good D from Ugo. Takes it inside, short with the 2, Ugo rebounds.
That's not a good shot. 10 on the shot clock, contested pull-up, but Derby in panic mode. Ugo pulling it up, and they just don't have the belief they can get back into it. And this game's done. I'll be honest. A minute to go. Look, I can't see a way back in now.
No, me neither. Ash Ugo with a somewhat desperate 3 on that last offence. Cameron Hildreth can't make the layup for Worthing. Pulled down by themselves. Ugo has it back again. Ugo to Jacob Conway, who will shoot from way out town again. Doesn't get there. Pulled down by Richardson. 37 seconds left in the game. Hildreth has it for Worthing, and it's Worthing who are going to be going through to the semi-final of the Llynch Trophy. Derby down by 8. Hildreth running time off the clock once again before shooting a 3, which he misses. It's collected offensively by Tom Ward. And Worthing will just happily run these seconds off the clock now, I suspect. Richardson has it. I don't think they'll even bother taking a shot. The shot clock will expire now and leave Derby with 3.8 seconds remaining. But they are down by 8 and they are out of the Llynch Trophy.
Yeah, really disappointing fourth quarter, but credit to Worthing down the stretch, just dominated defensively. Defensively, Worthing just packed the paint and Derby didn't have a solution. Conway had the 2 quick threes in the fourth, but outside of that, Derby had nothing going, and Worthing did a great job, and credit to them. Hard to really pick a standout. Hildreth obviously dominated the second half and gone back in, but really a rough night for him. 4 of 17 shooting, but did have that stretch where he took over. Crawford and Stanley was a great battle on the interior all night. But Max Richardson really 23 points, 11 rebound, double-double for him, efficiency of 30. And we said we're surprised he didn't start, but once he came onto the court, he barely left, playing 35 minutes. And yeah, a lot for Derby to reflect on coming out of this for sure.
Yeah, very good performance from Richardson there. 23 points and 11 rebounds, as you say, plus 4 assists. Derby on the day, not quite enough in the tank, led by Malcolm Smith with 22 points and 5 rebounds. Jacob Conway, 17 points. Ollie Stanley, 20 points and 15 rebounds from the Derby captain. Just looking at the rest of the stats for Derby, I think we're going to try and get somebody to speak to from the Derby camp if we can. Blake Bowman finishing with 9 points, Rima Lascelles with 3, and Ronald Aberia has just the 2 points. In fact, Max Richardson coming over to speak from a Worthing perspective.
What should I say?
I'm going to pass this microphone to across so we can hear.
Just give Max a second to gather thoughts and have a quick look at the box score. But as we said, Derby 73, Worthing 81, Llynch Trophy quarter-final. So Worthing will play in the semi-final. Obviously, the other teams still yet to play. But Max must be delighted with that. Obviously, lost here early in the year, but to come back, make some adjustments and pick up a quarter-final victory.
Yeah, it's just, getting through to the next stage. Hopefully we can keep the ball rolling and go through to the semi. So just excited that we got the dub and pulled together and came out on top.
And for me, we're saying on commentary, the big difference was your defense in the second half. You really seemed to make an adjustment of trying to collapse on the paint, and it seemed to play dividends for you at that end of the floor.
Yeah, so they got quite a talented team, and we had to collapse in on some of their bigs, and they're missing Josh Kademi today, who's another person who can stretch the floor, and obviously their shooter went off today as well. So we just tried to limit all of them and pack paint and do what we could.
And then for you, big night off the bench, 23 points, mid-range pull-ups, threes. Did have the missed dunk, but we'll let you off that one with the win. But just talk about how you're settling in with Worthing now you're back in England.
Yeah, man, it's nice to be back, obviously playing for the team where it all started for me. So it's nice to give back to what they brought up and homegrown talent and all that good stuff. So yeah, but I was a little bit surprised I came off the bench today, but coach's decision is always the right decision, and we move on with that, so it's all good.
Chance, obviously, got Hemel next week in the league, another tough game, but try and get some momentum now after Christmas.
Yeah, obviously Hemel are a very tough team and they have some very good players. We just got to lock in on them and work out scout report. So.
Good. Well, congratulations,
Yeah,
and
appreciate that.
enjoy the semi-final.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Max Richardson from Worthing Thunder. The Derby Trailblazers players and coaching staff have departed from the arena to discuss what's gone wrong from their perspective. I think we probably won't hear from anybody from the Derby camp today, but nice to hear from Max on a good game from his perspective and for his club.
Yeah, and ultimately a big win for Worthing on the road. Anytime you can make a semi-final, it's important. And obviously they were a bit of a tough group. Everyone knows Solent a dominant team in a quarter-final, and then probably didn't really want Derby maybe, but got them and did a really good job this afternoon, and credit to them.
So next up for Derby is a return to the league action next Saturday afternoon away to Leicester Warriors. I think it's a 4:30 tip from memory, but keep an eye on Derby Trailblazers social media and we'll bring you all those details just as soon as they're confirmed. But thank you for joining us here at the Nottingham Basketball Centre today, the Nottingham Wildcats Arena, our temporary home. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be for the Trailblazers. They miss out on a place in the semi-finals of the Llynch Trophy. And now it's a case of concentrating on the league, as the famous phrase goes.